Parapsychology Today, a program of investigation into the realms of the unknown. Suspend your mind for a moment and journey to a world beyond the five senses. Parapsychology Today is a program exploring ideas, theories, and concepts that have been around since ancient times. We'll journey to outer worlds and inner worlds. We'll look into such phenomena as past lives, UFOs, and hauntings. And we'll explore psychic ability as it relates to human potential. We do not intend to prove or persuade, but rather present theories and personal stories of ventures into the world of parapsychology. Whatever your beliefs, we hope this program will start you thinking about a reality beyond the five senses.
Hi, welcome to Parapsychology Today. We're going to talk about infusing foods, medicine, and drinks with healing energy. My guest today is Joshua Barlow. He is a master energy healer. Josh, thanks for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you know how to do this stuff, these things?
Absolutely. I had a whole career in finance, which doesn't have a whole lot with energy healing. However, I was a technology manager, and information is how technology managers think, and I see energy healing as information and energy. I also had access to hands-on healing as a child in the religion I was born in, the Mormon LDS religion, which I later in life left. I also have gone down the traditional paths of becoming certified in Reiki. I'm a certified Reiki master, Reiki grandmaster, master of Reiki. I also spent a lot of time communicating with different religions and exploring their healing modalities. Some religions use hands-on, like the Mormon religion. Mm-hmm. Some religions use a vocal, fourth chakra healing. Really? They have healers that talk to individuals that are sick and talk about love and their connection to universal love. That's the lovely Christian Scientist. My mom was, her dad was a Christian Scientist.
I thought Christian Science and Mormonism was the same. That's not the same?
No, they're quite different, actually.
Oh.
The Christian Science are the ones who, they don't really like modern medicine. They avoid modern medicine. They don't necessarily go to doctors. They avoid doctors if they can at all handle it. And they have healers in their religion. Mm-hmm. So I spent time talking with different religions and different healers, different religious and natural native aspects to gather information to connect all the technical pieces so that I could develop logic to work with anyone who's coming from any walk of life, whether they have a religious understanding, a scientific understanding, doctors. I love it when I get a doctor or a surgeon or a scientist walk in my shop, because we can have a really logical conversation about how the woo-woo connects to science, because it all does. I back everything I do with understanding.
So we're
and
talking
logic.
woo right now.
We're talking woo. I love woo. Although I do love science too.
Yeah.
And I don't think they fight each other.
I hope not.
No. I think they back each other up.
So we can start. Let's see, what types of healing energy can be infused, and explain what you mean by infused.
So infuse is, how I would define infuse, is a calibration of whatever is being infused to transfer healing energy. In one of our previous episodes, we talked about mirror neurons, and how your mirror neurons, when you say to somebody, have a good day, their mirror neurons know to have a good day, and they just perk up a little. It's that a nice share of positive energy. It happens similarly with food. What it's like is the food is being calibrated to hold those energy markers, to have a positive energy flow, and your body knows how to interpret that energy signal, and it increases your experience that the body can calibrate to and have a greater experience with whatever you're infusing with the energy. Water is a good example, because most people drink water or interact with water.
And you've got
in
a
some
plastic
way.
bottle. Now, plastic's not necessarily good for you.
Plastic is not good for you. In fact, it's not at all good for you, and I don't prefer plastic. However, I do like spring water. The reason is this. This is what I use in session, because for clients, I have clients coming that are very scientific in background, some that are very concerned about contaminants, and so I have sealed spring water that I offer clients.
And do you infuse it with healing energy?
I do infuse it.
That's what I thought.
I do infuse it with healing energy, and that is also to balance the plastic. Also, I encourage recycling. I'm a big proponent of that. However, there are times and places where we have to balance convenience with energy healing, and that's where infusion can help bridge that gap, because sometimes it's not always convenient to lug around a water or have a big metal hypoallergenic drinking water, or crystal infused, even better, water container for each client.
Mine's crystal infused.
So crystal infused is a wonderful way to go. In fact, my niece is getting really big into making extracts, and I sent her a crystal today to help with her infusions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine I put it in a bottle that has crystals in the bottom. So and then I get my water from my filtered water from my refrigerator, put in my crystal, and then I put it in here.
That's usually what I'm drinking, is filtered water from my refrigerator that I've infused with healing energy. Today, for traveling purposes, I brought this, but yes, I absolutely
explain how we infuse these things.
this. Now, you're using crystals to infuse your water.
Right.
You can also use Reiki healing energy to infuse healing energy. You can use universal commands. You can say, universe, infuse this healing energy into my water. If you're religious, you can pray over the water.
Wow.
Like blessing your food. That's a
yeah.
similar way of infusing healing energy into food and drink.
Oh, by just blessing it? Saying God bless you, or bless you, the universe, bless this food?
Yes.
Oh, you got some instruments
You
too.
can also use healing instruments to infuse healing energy. For instance, this helps vibrationally align the neurons and electrons or the electrons, I should say. You're not going to be neurons in the water, but the electrons in the water. You can tune them into a positive vibration. And this is infusing healing energy into that water right now.
That's easy.
So that's a very simple way to do it. You can pick up something like this. I sell this at the shop for $33.33. So you can pick up something like this for not very expensive. And you can also use tuning forks as well.
You can do that with food.
Absolutely.
Let's
you
talk
can
about
do this with food and...
Now food, the food that we eat today can be
packed. And it can be really difficult to find food that is not packed with a lot of additives and chemicals.
And colors.
And a lot of the issue is food is mass produced. And so to produce food on a mass scale, they often need chemical support to make it shelf stable, to make it last long enough for people to consume it. And the problem is even organic channels can be contaminated. And so my recommendation, and the way I operate, is like this. I make the best choices I can. I don't beat myself up over it. I make the best choices I can, and then I do infuse everything I consume with healing energy. I start off in the morning, and I infuse everything I'm going to consume throughout the day with healing energy. As I pick up something to consume it, I infuse it with healing energy, because you can actually impact your world through infusing the intentionality into it.
Now that's a lot of work. So what do you do? I mean, in the morning, do you say a prayer? Do you just touch it? What do you do?
In the morning, I state a universal command. I use part of the energy work that I do with clients is I operate on universal security. Your access to information, your access to your clairs, your access to your psychic abilities is based on security. And part of that security is having a reason
now, people don't know
to
what clairs
access
are.
The information. Your clairs are your psychic perception of energies. So like your psychic perception of a visual, like being able to see energy, or being able to hear energy. For instance, I had a client come into me one day, and she was explaining a lovely experience with the passing of a loved one. And during the passing of the loved one, she sang a beautiful song to her dearly departing at the time. As she was telling me the story, I heard her singing as clearly as if she was singing there in front of me. That is a clair audio. I was hearing it in the past, because energy isn't bound to space and time. I was able to listen to her in the past. Wow. And so that's how the clairs work, is I was able to tune in and translate the information.
So there's no past, present, or future.
It's all in the present. It's all here.
Yeah.
It's all now. The past is here in the present. The future is here in the present. The more present you can become, the more magic you become.
Wow. How do you stay present?
Staying present is a few things. This is one thing is, I recommend starting with realizing that you're made up of different aspects. You have a physical body, you have a soul, you have a spirit, and you have a mind. You have other parts and pieces, but those are the main categories. And the way to stay present is to bring them all into what you are focusing on at the moment. For instance, if I'm focusing on this drink of water, I'm not going to be taking this drink of water while I'm thinking about 50 other things. I'm going to be focusing all that energy on this water and how this water is going to benefit me and how it's going to nourish my body. It's going to connect my soul, my spirit, and my mind as I drink the water.
Yeah, I think that's a problem, because I know I put things down. I can't remember where I put them. I think it's because I'm thinking about too many things at one time when I should be focused on one thing.
Absolutely.
Eckhart Tolle says, what did he say? He said something about being in the present. He said, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you my little trick. My little trick for coming to the present, this is what I share with my clients. It's a 4-step trick. One, and you can say this anytime, and you can say it all day and all night, but this is what you do. First, pause. Second, reserve judgment. Third, observe. And then fourth, allow only the next correct action. Meaning, maybe it's just putting a dish in the sink to stop from sending that text message that'll be hard to take back. Maybe you're upset and you want to go yell at somebody, and maybe it's better to calm yourself down so that when you do talk to them, you are in your power and you're not out of control of your power. In other words, harness your power. If you have to have a big, powerful interaction with somebody, do it in control of your power so that you can affect the outcome.
You know, that's great, because nobody would be fighting then. We wouldn't have any fighting.
But there's no reason to argue, and there's no reason to fight, because we're all connected and we're all one.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what things can be infused with healing energy? We were talking about food, water.
Food, water, medicine is a wonderful one.
Now, medicine has a lot of side effects.
Has a lot of side effects. Now, here's my take on medicine. So, medicine goes through a very rigorous.
Should I grab mine too?
If you would like, I'm just talking. I'm using it as a little visual for myself. You can also use pendulums to infuse healing energy, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Yeah. You would hold it over the food and ask it to turn clockwise as the food is being infused with the energy. So I'd hold it over my water and ask this pendulum, turn clockwise as the water is being infused with healing energy.
Oh, wow.
And there
Mine
you
is
go.
Doing that.
You can hold it over different parts of your body and do the same type of healing as it's healing your body. This is a calibration that's happening to infuse that healing energy into the water.
So how does that happen?
This is a way, a pendulum is a way of connecting the dots from body, soul, spirit, and mind, because it uses all the aspects to get this pendulum to give you an answer without you swinging it around to give yourself the answer.
You're not making, like, if I want to say, am I going to be wealthy, and I'm hoping I am, I wouldn't do, you know,
your filters might affect the answer. However, I'm going to give you a quick little lesson, and we'll share this with the viewing audience. So here's what you do. When you got a pendulum, hold your pendulum up, and you're going to use universal commands. The first one is, universe, clear my space. So go ahead and say that now.
Universe, clear my space.
Next, say, universe, clear this pendulum.
Universe, clear this pendulum.
Next, say, universe, attach information as it applies to me to this pendulum.
Universe, apply information as it applies to me in this pendulum.
Good. Now that pendulum,
now it's moving.
that pendulum is attached to your information, your support team, your version, your universe is communicating through that pendulum. That is safe and secure and ready for you to ask questions.
Oh, I'm going to write these down later so I remember.
Yeah.
Because I want to do that.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's a simple way anybody can start using a pendulum and working with it.
Now, what kind of we talk about medicine.
Medicines, yes. So medicines have gone through a rigorous testing process, which has, the way I see it is that has bled the intentionality out of the medicine. In fact, that's exactly what the placebo effect is, the intentionality factor in the medicine. Yeah. And so the way I like to work with it when I need to work with prescription or over-the-counter medications is I infuse it with intentionality. And what I'm doing by infusing it with intentionality, I'm bringing my body, my soul, my spirit, and my mind into attention how to process the information that is coming from this medicine. That way my body can sidestep processing it the wrong way and causing side effects as much as possible. And my spirit, my soul, my mind can find ways to support my body if there are side effects that it doesn't know how to avoid. And maybe you need a little extra vitamin A. In fact, maybe you need to start eating a bunch of carrots. And that's something that happened for me. I was having an iron deficiency a few months ago, and what was happening, I was craving carrots. I was sitting around like Bugs Bunny eating carrots all day long. What's up, Doc?
I wish I could have seen that.
It was great. I couldn't get enough. I couldn't get enough of these carrots.
Because your body wanted the iron.
Carrots have the vitamin K in the carrots, allows your body to open up the stores for iron, and it allows the processes to flow better. And so that's one thing that I was craving at that time. So those types of things can happen when you incorporate your body, your soul, your spirit, and your mind into your experience. You can come to yourself. You can really show up for yourself in a richer way.
Now, how do we say about the medicine? What do you do?
So you would, use a pendulum to infuse healing energy into the medicine. You would say, universe, please infuse healing energy into this medicine for my highest and greatest good. And you hold it in your hands while you're doing it. Okay. That is the best way for any Tom, Dick, or Harry off the street to infuse it. Anybody could do that. They could
and you won't get the side effects then? You won't get the...
It will minimize the side effects.
Minimize them.
It'll minimize. I would say potentially eliminate all the side effects. Part of it is part of your belief system, how much you believe that your body can operate in this way. Because if you don't believe your body can be affected, you'll hold your body in compliance to your beliefs, and then you'll have your body will have a hard time operating differently than what it thinks it can do.
When you said placebo is you think something's going to work for you, and
it does.
Yeah, I saw a TV show one time, and they ran out of the medicine to stop pain, and so they told all the guys, they gave them these pills, and they said, this will stop your pain, and they all believed it, so they had no pain, even though it was just sugar pill or whatever.
And that is that calibration of the mirror neurons. They believed that medicine, they gave their body permission to operate differently with that medicine.
Interesting.
So that's similar to the Christian Science version of healing, where they talk people through pain management and healing.
I gotta look that up. Christian Science.
It's lovely.
Yeah. Let's see, what types of contaminants do foods contain that can be affected by healing energy? Foods have a lot of contaminants.
They can have biological contaminants, like chicken has, when it is processed in a factory setting, they spin that chicken around to get the feathers off. Oftentimes that bursts the internal organs, and so that chicken can be contaminated. Now it's washed and it's got government regulations to make it safe. However, there's a difference between safe and what you really want to eat. And so that's an example of some of the contaminants. Other is handling. You're not seeing everything that's handling in the whole food chain unless you're producing that food yourself. And so what if somebody didn't wash their hands? What if they dropped it on the floor? So those are potential contaminants. Also, factory contaminants, chemicals, additives into the food. Yes. Or your body might have allergens. You might have an allergic reaction to the food that is so subtle that you can eat it, but you just don't feel real good when you do eat it.
And that
By
would be
infusing
individual.
healing energy,
that would be an individual thing.
That would be an individual thing. So that's not necessarily a contaminant. It would be more of an effect that your body has because of existing trauma in your physical body.
Now, I don't know if I asked you, why do medicines have more side effects than natural healing?
I would say it is, in my opinion, because of the scientific process and the process of synthesizing the medicine. The more natural form you can use a medicine, the more you can rely on some of the natural protections that are built into that plant medicine. And a lot of prescription medications are taking formulas from plants laboratory, so to speak, and synthesizing that in a laboratory, and it's missing some of the protections that keep it connected to some of the other components that offset that medicine. For instance, if a particular energy in a medicine or a plant medicine is difficult on your liver, the plant medicine might have something that helps the liver flush and keep it running clear, even though it's a little more for the liver to work with, whereas a synthesized version of that medicine might not realize that there's that component to help the liver flush, and your liver might get a backlog of the medicine, and therefore you have a side effect of liver damage.
Now, we never talked about this, but what about indigenous people? They use the plant. They probably use the more plant.
I would say the more connected you are to Earth, the more you're going to be connected with the energy of the plant. And I would say indigenous people, by virtue of being connected to a natural ancestry and a natural connection to the land, generally, from my experience, have a greater energetic connection to the food. For instance, I was watching a lovely video of a African village, and they eat with their hands, and they were explaining why they eat with their hands, and they explained it as having a relationship with the food and connecting with it in a more sensual way. And there's information that your hand picks up into your body that your mind may not necessarily realize. So that sensual experience is a deeper connection with the food. And that's just an example of different traditions where we have, may not be polite to eat with your hands in our society, depending on the setting. However, we miss out on some of those tangible information points that we could be getting in the experience with the body. And working with your hands helps you stay more intentional and focused in the moment on eating that food.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's kind of the difference between take 2 pills and call me in the morning and brew yourself a cup of healing tea and sit down and enjoy that tea and think about what you want in your life and think about letting go of the negative stuff, where they might have the same medicinal aspects. It could be aspirins, and it could be a tea that has similar components. However, it's a much different experience because you're medicating yourself rather than just taking 2 pills and going on with your day.
Interesting, very interesting. Let's see, what ways can healing energy be infused? Now, you brought some things here to show us how we can infuse the healing energy.
Yes. I brought some different tools that can be used to infuse the healing energy. I'm going to reach over for this tuning fork here and demonstrate an example of how you would use this tuning fork. With a tuning fork, there's 2 different modes. One is working with it outward, like in your aura, in your energy system, and you hold it like this when you're operating that way. So here, you would operate like this, and this is what it sounds like. See if the mic can pick that up. This would be your, if you're operating in your consciousness out here, you would want it. You'd want to hold this in your aura. If you're really in your body and you have pain in your physical body, like for instance, if I have a tummy ache, I might hold it like a pencil, like this, put it on my tummy, and those vibrations go right into my tummy, which, you know, I had surgery a few weeks ago, so that feels pretty good on my tummy right now, having those healing vibrations come in. So I can infuse it into myself. I can also infuse it into my food, into my water. You could
into your food
do it into your food if you wanted to touch your food, or if you didn't, you could do it around your food like this.
And into your medicine.
And this is another easy way. I like this because it feels like a scan. So it's kind of like I'm scanning this water to infuse that healing energy into that water.
Do you have to say anything or think about anything?
I like to think of positive thoughts. It's good to say positive things. You don't have to, although the more you engage, the more you engage. So if you state, like in the morning, I state out loud my intention.
Like I can say, I love you, water.
You could say, I love you, water, and I love that you're going to help support my body and bring hydration to my body, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate where you've been, and I appreciate that there's ancestral energy in this water.
How's that?
And because everyone is made up of how much water? About 95%.
Water's
and
very important,
it
isn't
cycles through the earth, it cycles
Wow.
through the air. So water connects to our ancestors. This is a healing modality. In fact, there was a native healing modality. The native healer I was working with, they came in for session and we did a healing together, and their modality, the way they connected to their healing energy, was a cup of water. They would put their fingers in a cup of water,
Wow.
and that would engage their healing energy that they would then use in
water's
their
very
healing
important,
practices.
isn't it?
Yes, it is.
We need pure water.
Very, very
It
important.
can make you sick or it can make you healthy.
Yeah.
Let's see. How can the average person learn how to infuse energy? Can everyone do it?
Everyone can access it. You have the right to access universal life force energy, which is the healing force behind Reiki. It's called universal life force energy for a reason. It's universal. Everyone can access it. Now, people access it without even realizing it, and this is how they're doing it. Let's say you have a pet or a child that hurts themselves, and you wrap them up in your arms and you hug them better.
Yes.
You hug them better.
That's true.
That's infusing universal life force energy. When you say, I love you and I care about you, that's universal life force energy. When you write someone a note to say, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, and I've been thinking about you, and I love you, and have a great day, that's healing energy that anybody can
makes you feel
access.
good.
It feels good.
No, I know. A friend of mine just emailed me, told me what a wonderful soul I was. That made me feel good.
Yeah, it feels good
Yeah.
because you're being
And I
acknowledged.
got back to her, I said, no, you are.
See, and then you bounce that back and forth. It's like
yeah.
a game of positive tennis. Like, oh, you're wonderful. Oh, you're wonderful.
Yeah.
And then you get this
Well, she made me feel
positive
good, and I
energy.
told it because she made me feel good. She's really a good person.
Well, it's part of why we have such a good time together is
Yeah.
we can flow positive energy back and forth, and so
Yes.
we get this cloud of positive energy flowing between us. So in a way, you're doing quite a bit of energy healing without even realizing it.
Well, that's why I like to do this show. I want people to know they can, have a good life, and
Absolutely.
there's a lot of different kinds of healing.
And anybody, well, just about anybody can hop on YouTube and look up some videos on energy healing. They can look up some videos on Reiki. They can look up energy.
We've mentioned Reiki a few times. Now, that was, there's a couple of Reikis. One was by Dr. Yasui.
Yep, Dr. Usui. Dr. Usui is the one who I would say is credited with bringing it into the physical realm
Right.
in the early part of the century.
Wasn't he a rich person that rejected the richness and went out in the wilderness and I think he did a meditation, and he received this energy, and then he shared it with everybody.
He went up on a very
That'd be another topic,
sacred mountain. Yes, we could do a story on
Dr.
him.
Usui.
And he came as he allowed his physical body to get so close to death through his journey that he needed that energy to survive, and it engaged in his physical body, and he did some beautiful healing on himself as he came back down that mountain. He stumbled and hurt himself and did some lovely healing, and he realized that he could connect to this healing energy and started a clinic and taught people and healed people. And
You
did
remind me
good
of a
work.
little because you were in, like, he was very wealthy. I'm not saying you were wealthy, but you were working in the financial field, and he turned around and did more of the metaphysical stuff, the healing stuff.
The funny thing is if we're talking about him, I'm channeling him.
Oh, really?
So that might be why I'm reminding you of that
Yeah.
energy. That's the way I operate. I channel through intention, and so when I'm talking about someone or something, I'm channeling energy about that so that I can provide a richer experience. That's why we have some lovely experiences coming into the shop. People come into the shop, and I'm channeling their angels, their guides, their support team. And so they walk in the shop, and we have a lovely mom starts coming through me, and I start having a conversation with a lovely person in the shop.
Oh,
and
nice.
I quite enjoy it. I have a good time right here, and the client has a lovely time as well. So
This has been exciting.
I offer personal shopping experiences, so clients can come to the shop, and I intuitively
We'll do a
walk
story
them
on your
around the
shop.
shop.
We'll have to do a story on your
and
shop.
show them stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Now, is there anything else we want to end with?
I think one of the good things to end with is that whoever is watching this has the right to access healing energy and has the right to heal yourself and to heal your experience. And realize that you are affecting your reality. You are planning your reality while you sleep, and you are living your reality when you're awake. And when you're asleep, you're able to get interdimensional, and you're able to span space and time and work with your sleeping self. As you go to sleep, plan on positive things for yourself. Don't worry about stuff as you're sleeping. If you need to list a few things that aren't going well, fine. Do a little list of things that aren't going well, and then focus on positivity and gratitude as you're falling asleep, because then you're going to plan positive things for yourself.
You know, sometimes I'll say my intention is to have a good night's sleep. Sometimes I'll go to bed like that.
That is a wonderful thing. I love to tell people, and this is something I love to tell people in the shop, is sweet dreams. Because sweet dreams lead to sweet wakes.
Nice.
And who doesn't want a sweet wake?
No kidding. Thanks, Josh,
You're
for another
welcome.
Fascinating interview with you.
Oh, thank you.
We'll have
I
you back
so enjoy
soon.
it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I want to thank my audience, too. Thank you for watching another edition of Parapsychology Today. We hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.